Yo, what's good? What it do? Uncle Pops with the raw truth for the you. And most likely you grown folks. So, and this idiot didn't realize that this is the wrong way. So, anyway, yes. I'm driving again, of course. And going out of the exit, and it just so happened that some idiot decided that, oh, I can go in this way, even though I'm looking at all of the cars facing this way. I'm looking at all the parking spots facing this way. I'm looking at, everything that's telling me I'm going the wrong way. But I'm still going to continue and go the wrong way because I have to get what I'm doing done, and I have to get to where I'm going, regardless of how I'm getting there. I'm going the wrong way, but I'm going to do it anyway. Man, that's crazy. What up, one of my sons? My son, Dens. What's happening, Dens? Man, but anyway, reason why I came on live. Something hit from an audio book I was listening to, and it sparked the thought that I needed to go live and have a testament of becoming. Hashtag DBWT, don't be wasted talent. Man, let's come on. Let me bring Dens on. Waiting for you, Dens.
What up, Coach?
What's happening with it, man? Tinsel from Washington.
What's happening? What's happening? How you been, man?
Oh, man, sustaining and maintaining, man. It's great to be me.
Hey.
So, man.
I hear you.
Man,
you about to give some raw truth to the youth?
Oh, man, I'm finna give it. We getting ready to go in, man.
I got it for you.
Break it down.
I heard this, and, I kind of elaborated on it, and I came up with something kind of cool. And as you were talking, I was like, Coach might appreciate this, because it's not like, it's not an old island proverb like, dog done shit in the fireplace or nothing like that. It's a little different. So I was talking to somebody, and I was like, you know what? The emotions of nervousness and excited are the exact same thing. It's just the story that you tell yourself is what makes the difference. Think about that.
That actually hits in an area of what I was getting ready to drop, in regards of attitude and perception.
Mm-hmm.
Because it really comes off of, how you see things. And I was listening to an audio book, and the cat had used, a little story, about a prank that some children played on their grandfather, rubbing their fingers on his mustache while he was asleep after they've been, playing with Limburger cheese, right?
Yeah.
And so they rubbed it all in his mustache and his beard while he was asleep. And when he woke up, they're all hiding and watching and looking,
yeah.
and laughing real quietly. But, he sits up and he walks into the kitchen, and he wants some food, but he starts to smell because nobody's cooking anything, but then he smells the Limburger cheese in his mustache, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't know that the kids rubbed, Limburger cheese residue in his mustache. But he's like, damn, this fucking kitchen stinks, right? So then he walks into another room of the house, and he's like, this room stinks too, right? Kids laughing. They just, oh, Grandpa, he don't know. Everything just smells like shit, walks outside, right? Damn, even outside, the world stinks. Whole time, that has it has shaped his perception. It has given him the attitude that everything is just shit
Yeah.
and everything stinks, you know, without going through a process of trying to find out, well, why does the kitchen stink?
Yeah.
Did somebody forget to take out the garbage? Did we not clean the garbage disposal? Did somebody not rinse any food down the or did someone rinse the wrong type of food down the drain? What happened? Let's go through that process. Nope, didn't want to go through that process. Walks in another room of the house. This room, it just stinks in this house.
Yeah.
So now, you know, without going through did somebody do any laundry? Did somebody forget to do laundry? Did the dog shit in the or on the floor? Did I step in some shit?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Did somebody crop dust me real quick? And it's just sitting here, you know, in a waft of funk. No, don't go through that process. And then walks outside. Damn, the world, it just stinks outside. So now everything just stinks based off of what shaped your perception. And now you have this attitude towards everything without going through a process of how the fuck did I get here?
Mm-hmm.
Why does it stink? You know, and what choices did I make or actions did I take, and also choices I didn't take and actions I didn't make that has me right here believing that everything stinks? What shaped my perception and has me with this attitude of today that came from yesterday or from last week or from last month? You know, so the emotions and, you know, so that excitement that you believe, and it really deals with a lot of belief. What you believe is going to be true. I can tell you that the sky has a spectrum of colors. And the reason why it's blue is because of the hue of this and da-da-da-da, and can break down a scientific equation and formula and explanation until my lungs collapse with no air. But if you don't want to believe it and you want to believe that the sky is not a spectrum of colors or that this, if you don't want to believe it, then guess what? It ain't going to be true. I could give you everything possible, everything scientific possible. If you don't want to believe it's true, I could tell you, man, my beard, you know what I'm saying, is purple. It's got a nice hue of purple. You gonna sit there, nah, coach, man, you got salt and pepper in the face. You great. To believe that.
Man, coach, you are salt and pepper. You ain't salt and pepper no more, man. You about to pass into just straight up gray. And that's your perception. Hey.
And your emotions would dictate that. And your attitude towards that would dictate that. Now, the other thing about the attitude and emotions towards that is you can have a shitty attitude towards my gray beard. I can have a shitty attitude towards the fact that your beard doesn't have any gray in it.
Hey, it's got gray in it, man. Ain't much. It's coming.
It's coming. But for the emotions that would stimulate that attitude, go through the process. Why would you even feel that way? Why would that attitude even be worth anything? Why would you even feel that way? Why would you even have that emotion? You know, and one of the things that, you know, I'm bringing up, you know, with that is that, you know, your thoughts become what? Oh, you just gonna run the red light. You couldn't wait for everybody sitting at the red light, but dude, just wow. Okay, so
oh, Island.
Yeah, thoughts become your words, right? Words become emotion and feelings. Feelings and emotion become action. Action becomes habits. Habits become character. Character becomes destiny. So what you said earlier does fit in that arena dealing with attitude and perception, which goes into habits. Because what is a habit? It's something that's triggered by a stimulus that you continue to do constantly, and then it becomes a habit.
That's right.
That's some deep shit.
That's deep.
You know? So then when you have an attitude that is constant, you know, because you've complained so much Oh man, I ain't got no money. Oh, I ain't got this. I ain't got that. I ain't got. So now you're creating this emotion off of your words, which is becoming a conviction of your heart that is creating, you know what I'm saying, these habits. So now you're in the habit of complaining. You're in the habit of being the victim. You're in the habit of being negative. You're in the habit of not developing or creating any type of solutions. You're in the habit of being in this emotional state that is draining physically and spiritually and mentally without doing any type of process to fix shit.
Mm-hmm.
You're not in the habit of fixing anything. You're in the habit of complaining.
Yep.
That becomes your character, and that becomes your destiny. So, and which links to a conversation I was having with someone earlier, you know, and I'm very, very disappointed. I'm not mad at this person or mad at all, but I'm very disappointed at how they complained about everything, which has been the same story for a few years now. And you ask them well, now what? What are we supposed to do?
Hey.
What do we do? What do we do to fix it? We know what's wrong, and you've been telling everybody what's wrong, and you've been complaining that nobody understands, nobody listens to me. Okay, well, if that's all you want to do, if that's all you want to have done is someone to listen to you complain about your issues, okay, then
now,
fine.
I will say this. You know, I've been in the corporate world now for a few years, and I'll say that's probably.
That's scary. No.
You said what?
That's scary.
I know, right?
Corporate world
for a few years. I will say probably one of the biggest things that I've learned is don't just have a problem and say, "Hey, I have a problem." Come to the table with a solution when you say that you have the problem. So think about the problem, figure out how to solve the problem, and then say, "Hey, here's the problem, and this is how we fix the problem. Is this something that you want to move forward with, or is this not something you want to move forward with?" And that was like a big lesson that I had to learn, you know, throughout my career. But it's but kind of like once you learn it and you're sitting there and you're just like, man, like if I just come with the solution, most of the time it's something they've either thought about or maybe even haven't thought about, but they're going to actually sit and go, you know what, maybe that works, or let's give it a shot and see what happens. You know, and it's really helped a lot of things in a lot of different situations, you know, when it comes to work or, you know, anything really. So just come up with a solution. And that's the thing. But like you said, some people do just like to bitch. So
yeah, some people, and that's an addiction. Addicted to chaos is an addiction, because that is part of it. They just like to bitch. They just like to hear themselves complain, because
now,
that also shows.
What if I told you that our current society, and as it's become more and more polarizing, has become addicted to toxic? It's become addicted to toxicity.
Oh,
like as a people, we're addicted to it. People are like, oh, this is a good situation, but it's boring. They're addicted because it's the chaos.
You ain't said shit slick to a can of oil, because that is an absolute truth, right? Hey. You gotta look at here's a fucked up way of understanding what capitalism is, right?
Yeah.
We capitalize on other people's shortcomings and mistakes. I capitalize on you for not being able to, you know, do for yourself. So I'm gonna find a way and make you depend on me to do shit for you, right?
Yeah.
A lawyer will capitalize on your setbacks and your failures because you fucked up in a legal sense, and they're gonna capitalize on it, right? I'm gonna capitalize on everything that you do that's a mistake. Just like in sports, when I was coaching you guys at MCC, what did we talk about? We got to capitalize on the turnover. We get the fumble recovery, we got to capitalize on it. They made a mistake, right? We got to capitalize on the interception. We have to capitalize on what someone else has fucked up.
Right.
That's a fucked up way to look at it, right? And when you put it in, you know, in a life perspective or a business perspective, that's pretty much what we do, right? In order to make your dreams work, you got to destroy somebody else's shit, right? Now, how does that tie into the conversation and your statement, as well as what I quoted? is because that's all perception and attitude. If you don't have that type of attitude and you don't have that type of perception that you are worthy enough to have success, or you're not, valid, or you can give your own self vindication of what you really deserve in life. If you can't do that, then what's the point? If you can't be that DB going up against a receiver, and you know what, your dream, your desire is to make this touchdown and to look good and to have these statistics. But you know what? In order for me to be successful and to stay on this team and not get cut and get my paycheck as a DB, I need to intercept this shit. I got to destroy your dreams.
Hey.
It's fucked up balance, but it's balanced nonetheless. So with the right type of attitude and the right perception, everything that is fucked up, that you consider fucked up in your life, can definitely be changed. Why? Because you have to change, and everybody's heard this so many times, corporate world and all over, books and sermons and churches, synagogues and mosques. You have to change from I will to I must. You have to change I can and I should to I have to. I have no other choice. You have to change the verbiage. You have to change that, because what did I say? Words become your thoughts, the thoughts become your words. Your words become your emotions and your actions. So when you change the thought process, right? And everybody's heard this. I ain't saying nothing new, right? When you change that thought process, that'll change the wording, right? Then that'll change the emotional state. So then in what you said, what do we do? How do you can reshape that narrative, you can reshape that understanding, you can reshape that outcome, and then it goes to one of the greatest quotes, which comes from a scripture, which also came before that scripture was even written, which he was inscribed on stone temples and things like that. That comes after man know thyself, but also as a man thinketh, so shall he be. Right? We are the sum of our thoughts. So if we are the sum of our thoughts, then if we're living like pigs, comfortably living in uncomfortable shit, then once we make the determination and have the desire to live in something different, it won't happen until we change our thought process. And I ain't saying nothing new.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't saying nothing new. But just like the person I was having a conversation with, I ain't got no car. Okay, you don't have a car. How do we get a car?
Yep. Solutions.
Well, I'm hungry too, and I ain't got no money. Okay, well, if money is the issue, how do we get money? What are the options that we have?
Solutions on the
Because
road.
if we keep focusing on what we don't have,
then
what are you going to continuously to have? You ain't going to have shit. But if we change that focus and realize, okay, I don't have it, but I need to focus on getting it. I need to focus on what it's going to be like when I do have it. I need to focus on what I'm going to do once I do have it in order to keep it and maintain it. That makes the world of a difference.
Oh yeah.
The grandfather walking outside, man, the world just stinks. Okay, why does it stink? What can you do about it?
Exactly.
What is causing the stench? Let's investigate.
Solutions.
But without doing that process and without doing that investigation and being analytical of our lives and our daily actions and everything that we got going on, without doing that, we gonna stay where the fuck we at. In shit. Addicted to toxic behaviors, addicted to a toxic society because it's making money. Somebody's capitalizing on the fact that, some knucklehead is sitting up watching Love and Hip Hop. That's their addiction. So guess what? We're going to produce more Love and Hip Hop because we're making money off this shit.
Ain't that the truth?
Somebody's going to produce more reality TV, which that is nobody's reality. Somebody's going to continue doing something because someone else likes it. And they're going to capitalize on it. You like partying bullshit? Well, guess what? I'm going to create websites and an entertainment company that's going to give you nothing but partying bullshit, and you will have no significant growth or anything in your life to be anything more than what you are as a lump of flesh taking up space on this rock we call Earth. I'm going to capitalize on that. That's just how it is.
Yes, sir.
But drop it for the people that came on late. What you said. Drop that shit again. Drop it one more time.
One more time.
One more again.
Nah, it's a phrase I heard from my friend Molly. She looked it up. This was hers. She said that nervousness, the emotions of nervous and excitement are the exact same. It's just the only difference is the story that you tell yourself. You have the same physical reaction. I was just like, man, you know what? That's real. And I kind of held on.
It is. And the reason why it's the same physical reaction is because you look at the understanding and concept of fear and faith. Fear does the same thing.
Sure does.
Fear creates that nervousness. Fear can also create that excitement. Because fear can be looked at as a tool or it can be looked at as a weapon. So it either keep you either trapped or it can set you free. And having that fear, now you're nervous. You're worried about something. But you produce that same effect.
Yeah.
It's all how your perception is, it's your attitude. One of the things that it was so corny, but I was really enjoying what I heard on this other podcast, and it was so corny. But they were talking about multiple streams of income and this and that and investing, and one guy was talking about his buddy and his buddy's family that they started a trucking business, right? One of the guys became a broker. Another guy, they got the investments together and they bought a rig, and this and that. And the thing that he was saying about his friend who once did a lot of driving right across state lines and things like that, making long haul, what made him successful was his change of attitude and perception about being a truck driver. He said that most guys and women get in their truck and they see themselves going to work. They see themselves doing a job. They see themselves, just driving and delivering shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he said what I did for myself in order to be successful and to be where I am today as a multimillionaire with a trucking business, I changed my mind and outlook. I wasn't getting in the trucks to go to work. I wasn't getting in the trucks to just drive and deliver shit. I wasn't getting in the trucks to do a job. I was getting in the truck and driving cross country to see how beautiful America is and how it can be. That's a motherfucking game changer right there.
Mm-hmm.
Changing the perception and the outlook. Not allowing that nervousness of, oh man, I got to drive this big ass truck. I got this heavy load, and I don't want nothing to fuck up. So, and what I've said before on a couple of other lives, what you rehearse is what you nurse. So that focus on the nervousness and that worry and this and that, what outcome did it produce?
Yeah.
It produces a negative outcome because now you focus so much on the possibility of something going wrong. Guess what? It's going to go wrong. And then when it does, the fact that you've given so much attention and energy into something that could possibly go wrong, your mind is not stable enough to develop a solution. It's
right.
not. Because it's still stuck in the fact that, oh shit, oh I done fucked up. You can't have a solution. So when he said he changed his perception and attitude, and it just starts to hit even more. I know we said it for years when we were coaching you guys, and attitude is everything. Attitude, but for a lot of people to say it, it's just words and verbs. It has no conviction to it unless you really project it from a genuine spot, from yourself, from your inner self, to convey that message, that attitude is everything, and then live it and show it as an example. And when he said, I know I don't get in the truck just to deliver shit or to drive as a job. I get in the truck because I'm going sightseeing.
Yeah.
Just happen to have packages that people want in other states.
Yeah,
That
man.
part right there.
It's a wild world we live in, man. It's all about how we perceive it and how we want to take it. Especially in these days
Exactly.
when we're sitting in quarantine and we're not doing much and we're just kind of like people are feeling isolated and not doing much things with themselves. All you got to do really, if you're lucky enough to have a job like myself, like all we're doing right now is just working.
Right.
What you have to do, or something that I've kind of realized as well, is you got to take this time to really work on yourself. Enjoy the little things and work on yourself. You're lucky you're down in Arizona because it's sunny and all that good stuff. But it's sunny today out here in Seattle. But it's about to start getting real rainy.
Why does that sound like some type of musical or something? Sunny in Seattle.
Right?
But it's all about a pivot. Now, one thing you did say that I'm going to put this piece onto it, right? People are lucky enough to have a job, lucky enough to have this. Here's the other thing that a lot of people are blessed to have. They're blessed to have creativity and artistic ability, because that's what's happening here. It's not so much of being lucky enough to have a job. You're lucky enough or blessed enough to have the mental aptitude to be able to use your intelligence, your intellect, your intuition, your investigative self. Let me see what I can do in order to secure myself and secure the future. I need that bag. What can I do to secure that bag? If it's a job, great. Let me find a job. Well, shit, everybody ain't hiring because of all this pandemic shit. I can't go work here. I can't go work there. Okay, what can I do?
Yeah.
Like McDonald's is hiring.
But then also,
French fries and a milkshake.
Yeah, and honestly, if you're sitting in a space where you're not capable of working and it's not looking up and you're trying and you're doing all of these things, like I said earlier, man, take the time, really work on yourself. Find something new, find something creative, find some way to stimulate yourself and kind of get up and moving. And that's a mistake I think a lot of people made at the beginning of this pandemic, man. Like a lot of people were just kind of like, all right, cool, this is going to be over soon.
Because they were sheep. Because they were sheep.
Well, it's not even about being sheep, Coach. It's more just like, hold on, Coach. Listen, it's not even necessarily about being sheep. It's just about it's our mindset. We're sitting here and we're like, all right, cool. This is gonna be over. We lived through Ebola. We lived through all these other things and like all that kind of stuff. Like it'll pass by. Like we're gonna be in lockdown for 2 weeks. It's gonna go by. It is what it is. But then that 2 weeks turned into 4. That 4 turned into 8. And here we are. A few months later. And we didn't really anticipate in the beginning for this to be going on so long, obviously. Who could have predicted that,
They could have predicted it.
And it's hard to kind of deal with it, especially if you're, some of the people who live by themselves and you're doing your thing and you're just kind of like, it's just you in your apartment looking around your 4 walls like, all right, now what? Like I've gone outside and ridden my bike every day for 12 miles. I've done seeing all the outside things that I could go see that's, within a decent radius and so on and so forth. So it's, but once you kind of figure it out and you kind of go, you know what, let me take this time to, sit by myself, listen to an album and just kind of like figure out how I can be better,
And
that's
breaking out of allowing things to be created for you and you taking the initiative and creating for yourself. That's breaking out of someone doing the thinking for you of how you're going to get your food, how you're going to pay your bills, how you're going to maintain and manage your household, and that's taking it upon yourself and realizing ain't nobody coming to save me. I got to do this shit on my own.
Ain't that true?
I got to put on my own Superman cape and get busy. That's the portion, of what people have allowed themselves to get into, depending so much on something or someone else to be automatic, to be always be there. And then when you start to see the writing on the wall and the evidence that, oh shit, everything is really about to fall apart, and then you don't do anything about it, or here's this, you don't leverage your resources. That's where people can become very successful by leveraging their resources, looking at the friendships and the relationships that they have and monetizing that. And then not only just monetizing, but starting to actually do for self by giving a service. What problem can I solve?
But like I said,
What service can I give?
at the end of the day, we can sit here and we can talk in round circles about it. At the end of the day, it comes down to one thing: self-accountability and bringing solutions. Those are the only things that it comes down to. But side note, before we keep going on that tangent, I just want to check in, man. I just wanted to say hi, see how you been, see how you living, see how moms is doing. The boys, everybody good?
Tough. Making the pivot,
Yeah.
working from home, using the internet for more than just looking at cute baby videos.
Oh, geez. Moms and them damn baby videos.
And that's the other thing. We have so many tools around us, right?
Yeah.
We have so many different things that we can utilize to make our lives better. So for people complaining, and on social media, putting their business out there and talking about their drama and their depression and this and that, but you got that damn smartphone, you on social media using it to do everything else but what you can do to improve your life.
Mm-hmm.
Get an audiobook,
So,
get an investment, sign up for a class.
hey, it is.
Reach out and talk to someone and get some help for something.
It's a world of instant gratification, man. But
Man, the microwave, I blame it on the microwave.
Oh,
The invention of the microwave fucked us up. The invention of the microwave fucked us up because everybody want to push a button and ding, it's done.
it's the world we live in now. But anyway,
It's the
man,
world we live in.
I gotta get ready to jet to a meeting. I just want to jump in, say what's up.
All right, man. I love you so much, man. Love you for life.
Hey,
Man, it's always an amazing pleasure, to chop it up with you, Dens. I miss you. Very, very proud of you and the things that you've done and become, because you definitely stayed on your grown man shit. So you actually listened. You were one of the many of the students, that have listened. Fuck everything else. Get on your grown man shit so you can survive and thrive.
hey,
And you listen.
Thanks, Coach, man. I love you. Tell moms I said what's up. The boys, all that good stuff. Much love. Hopefully I can come down to Arizona once all this opens back up and whatnot. Because we in lockdown up here in Seattle. So I'll let y'all later, though. I got to jump on this meeting.
All right, get on to it, baby.
All right.
Go. Man. But that's real. That's real. That's real. My man, thanks. What's good with it, baby? Who else done jumped on? She had Krog, had Courtney. Yeah, man, there's quite a few folks. Oh, my little baby, Birdie Bird. Miss Warren. What's good with it? Oh, new follower, folks, the Kush Empire. But hey, what's up, my son Quentin? Yeah, a couple of folks came on. But look, the whole purpose of this live was definitely, to just that. And I don't know how long I've been on. I haven't paid attention to the time, and I apologize for that. So if anybody, is like, all right, I got to get off, good. I get it. But I hope to at least have said something or say something that is worth your while, right? Oh man, my man DJ Don D just jumped on. Man, giving it to him, man, having a hashtag DBWT moment, as well as a testament of becoming, sharing something that I got from a podcast and to earlier, as well as just some own thoughts, that came about. And one of the things was all about attitude and perception. A lot of what we got going on, and I know I'm not saying anything new or anything different, but a lot of everything that's going on is based off of our attitudes. It really is. If you having a shitty day at work, check your attitude. A lot of times it's not the coworkers, it's not your boss who you think is either racist or just hates you or this. It's really not that. Not 100% of the time, no. You not having any money, you not having any type of success in anything that you're doing, it is not generally and necessarily somebody else's fault or some other reason. It really could be your attitude, your perception on everything, and how you view yourself in this world and in these circumstances, these current situations and circumstances. What's your view? What's your attitude? What are your thoughts? That whole thought processing. As the little saying goes, thoughts become words. All thoughts become words. And words create what? Words become your emotions and your feelings. Then what? Your emotions and your feelings become your habits. Then your habits become your character, and your character becomes your destiny. This ain't nothing new. Everybody that's been on this live, off and on, has heard that at some point in their lives. And that's the way it is. But to hear it is one thing, to listen to it is another, and to allow it to take effect and develop a conviction within yourself in order for you to do something and produce results that are beneficial and conducive for your future and your life. That's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. You look at everybody else that all around. For example, you take all these televangelists and everything right there, all these fat folks with these, mega churches and shit like that, right? Looking at all and everybody that's going to these seminars and doing these webinars and everything. You look at all these cats that do these great speaking events, and they got all this understanding and all this knowledge, and they're saying something so deep and profound, right? Why is that? Why is that? It's because of the attitude that they have. It's the perception that they have, right? One of the things that I use a story, out of the great story book, I like to use the David and Goliath, situation, especially with a lot of student athletes that I coach. And here's the reason why. And someone else, put a different spin on the perception, right? And the perspective and attitude that David had going to face his Goliath. What's happening, Jay Stump? It was like this. Everybody else, now dig this real quick. Everybody else is looking at these giants, right? And it's like, oh my goodness. In life, you're looking at your problems so large, that it's so tough, it's so large, it's so big to deal with. But in the changed perception, in the changed perspective, in the changed attitude, to see it in this way, that motherfucker is so big, it's impossible for me to miss. I mean, I gotta laugh at that, because that's where I once was. That's where I once was, looking at problems and situations in my life that were so huge. They were so this, and I'm just, how am I going to do that? And then flipping the perspective and thinking of it, putting yourself in the position of the David and Goliath story, and looking at it from David's viewpoint, that this motherfucker is so big, it's impossible for me to miss when I throw this rock. It's impossible for me to miss when I attack it with a solution. This problem is so big, it's impossible for me to miss when I shoot my shot, when I take my chance, when I step out on faith, when I start to believe in what I need to believe in, when I start taking action, when I start getting busy and getting serious and making the demands of myself, when I start meeting my own expectations. You see what I'm saying? Instead of depending and waiting for other people to meet my expectations, let me meet my own expectations first. Let me deal with this big shit. Let me deal with this Goliath, right? But it starts with attitude and perception. It starts with the perspective. You got to change it. You got to see it, right? So that's what this live was mainly about. And I was blessed to have, you know, one of my young mentees, you know, who I'm truly proud of, Denzel. He was a phenomenal athlete when I coached him at Mesa Community College, and he has grown into become a phenomenal young man with a lot of the things that he's doing. And, you know, working, you know, for in technology, working at Microsoft. He was on the Xbox team, you know, just truly proud of this young man, you know, really, 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 really proud of him. But, you know, yes, it truly is. And it took me a long time, because when you can't teach what you don't know. And I say that in respect of what you're saying, with how we look at things. When you're not taught, or you're not giving an opportunity, or you're not shown an example, or you're not, you know, allowed to think freely, or given the opportunity to see it in a different way, you won't. You know what I'm saying? You won't. And I'm not saying that, you know, my mother did it, but she did as best as she could. But you can only communicate to people what you know and understand, how you know it and how you understand it. Which means that it has to be some constant things. There has to be consistency in these things, showing people that there's another way to look at it. Everyone has used and heard that quote. There's a silver lining in this, but when you just allow it to just be words and verbs, it has no meaning. It has no substance. Telling a kid as a coach, you know, I'm told, hey, I need you to go harder. I need you to do it. Come on, focus up. Come on, I need you to dig deep. Okay, that sounds great, but how? How do I do it? What does that look like? What are you supposed to do? So now that brings us to this point in our lives, right? And I know I'm probably, you know, I'm branching and touching different areas and all over the place, but hashtag DBWT, don't be wasted talent. This is the testament of becoming. What does that look like? How do we do that? It brings us to this portion in our lives as we grow and develop. You've got to have some non-negotiables. You've got to have some non-negotiables. Focus. What do I say focus is? Focus is follow on course until success. All right. How do I do it? What do I do? What's the step-by-step? What's the schematic? What's the plan? What's the blueprint? What's the outline? You know, in relationships, we do the same shit to each other in relationships. I would love for you to love me deeper. How the fuck do I do that? I would love for you to be more romantic. How do I do that? I would love for you, you know, to be okay, how do I do that? Yo, man, we ain't kicking it like we used to. Okay, why is that? You know what I'm saying? Why is that? Oh, you ain't doing this and you ain't doing that. I feel you should do this. And okay, well, why and how? You feel me? So having the non-negotiables. Developing non-negotiables gives us a better standpoint to say, hey, I need us to be a little bit more disciplined. And the non-negotiables were, as long as we did this and stayed within these guidelines and these precepts, this would ensure us success. So if we're not doing these, then we're not on the same track. We're not on the same page. We're not going to be successful. We're not enduring anything. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, I think I've been on a little too long. I don't want to oppress anybody's time, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I say. If somebody wasted 10 minutes of your time, 8 minutes of it is your fault because you knew the motherfucker wasn't talking about shit in the first 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Duck, I'm going to come get that rematch. But anyway, y'all, hashtag DBWT, don't be wasting talent. This is the testament of becoming. Y'all stay up, stay blessed. Don't think like a 2-minute clock so you ain't got to catch the fuck up. Stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. Plan your work and work your plan and you can't fail. Dig what I'm saying? Yo, something else comes up that inspires me to want to share and talk and discuss with y'all, I'll come on live again. I love y'all. Peace.